as a parent, the things that I want to know about when it comes to movies, first of all, is it any good? Second of all, what's the content? What's in it? What do I need to be aware of for my children? A lot of times we look at content and we look at quality, but we fail to look at a third characteristic, which is messages. What are the messages that this film teaches that I can discuss with my children? So in my film reviews, I cover all three of those things. This is my first video review, and we're kicking it off with Disney's Beauty and the Beast, the live-action remake. So what's it about? Well, you know the story. A bookish beauty falls for a monstrous beast. Now, this version is not going to be nominated for Best Picture like the original was, but its strengths more than make up for its flaws. So let's get the flaws out of the way first. First of all, Emma Watson. She's actually quite good as Belle most of the time. And what I mean is she's very good at the subtler moments, the moments of tender interaction, the moments where her acting doesn't have to be grand and overwrought with these giant emotions. When she's interacting with Beast and falling in love with Beast, when she's connecting with her father, when she's bonding with the castle staff, she's quite good. But she's no Julie Andrews. In these moments of musical monologuing, that I call them, she leaves something to be desired. Plus, she's got a decent voice, but director Bill Condon, he seems unwilling to let us hear her flaws, and so she's noticeably auto-tuned at some portions, and I didn't care for that. Other flaws, it sticks a little too closely to the 1991 film. Whole moments, just swaths of dialogue and musical cues are lifted wholesale from that film. And this one can only suffer in comparison, in my opinion. Now, what it does well, it does a lot of things well. Even though it copies the original so thoroughly, it's a pretty decent copy. And it still hits the marks emotionally, and you still feel those same feelings that you felt. But the things that really connected with me the most is when the film went off book. Whenever it went off book, whenever it gave us new songs, either from the Broadway play or all new songs just for this film, the new songs were fantastic. They're so good. Patches up plot holes from the original film that always bugged me. Not too bad because, I like to just enjoy movies and not let the plot holes drive me crazy, but it gives you very satisfying reasons for a lot of the questions that you may have always had. And then, most importantly, it provides backstory to Belle and Beast. Now, this was a gamble, because some backstories stink, and they take the luster off the original story. But this backstory, the backstories they provide for Belle and Beast, actually serve to deepen the characters and deepen their bond. What else is good? Dan Stevens' Beast is phenomenal. Look, motion capture technology still isn't flawless. And by that I mean anytime you have an actual person sharing the screen with a performance that's captured by motion capture and then created through CGI, there's always a little bit of a disconnect. Not every shot's going to be perfect. And that's true of Beast. There are some times that he doesn't look quite convincing. Other times he looks very good. But all across the board, Dan Stevens' performance as the Beast is incredible. He's magnetic, and he just elicits this really raw, primal emotion and this tenderness, and you really connect with him. He's a fantastic Beast. Kevin Kline as Maurice, I loved him. He's kind of a bumbling buffoon in the animated version. Here, he's a very tender, loving, steady parent, and I like that change. I was worried about Luke Evans as Gaston, honestly, because I love Gaston in the animated version. Not as a person. Obviously, Gaston's a terrible person, but for sheer entertainment value, he's a great character. Here, he's less of a bulky moron like he was in the animated version, and he's more of a intelligent narcissist who's actually making an attempt to keep his dark nature at bay. And that makes his failure really quite chilling when he finally succumbs to his darker nature. Josh Gad as Lefou is a much more sympathetic character here. He's loyal to Gaston, but he's got an ever-growing conscience that's nagging him, and you find yourself really rooting for Lefou. You cannot go wrong with a castle staff of Ian McKellen, Ewan McGregor, Emma Thompson, Audra McDonald, and Stanley Tucci, and they don't. They don't go wrong. This is just an amazing. The castle staff, the furniture, they're fantastic. The film is visually a marvel. The songs are mostly terrific. This new film is sure to delight fans of the original and win new converts. It only pales in direct comparison to that film. But, that said, I think repeat viewings are going to cause me to warm to it even more. As far as content, is it okay for your kids? Now, there's minor spoilers here. First of all, the wolves are scarier. Beast is scarier when he's mean. A villain punches a sympathetic character and leaves him for dead. We see in a flashback a character dying from disease. In the fight between Gaston and Beast, that fight is more intense than it was before. Gaston shoots Beast a couple of times in the back and hits him with a stone fixture from the castle, hits him in the face. As before, characters are drinking beer in a tavern. Now, let's talk about the whole gay controversy. First of all, Much Ado About Nothing. And had Lefou been a clearly gay character, I would have said, okay, this is a great opportunity to discuss with my kids that there are gay people in the world and that they are as deserving of our love and respect as anybody. But the fact is, Lefou isn't clearly gay. He's effeminate, which he is in the Disney version. In the animated version. Look, the only indicator here is, so you have the opera singer chest of drawers, and she attacks these three men during the castle battle, and she dresses them as women. And two of them are mortified, and one is actually quite pleased that he's wearing this dress. He likes the look on him. And so that's played for laughs. And then later, Lefou is dancing a formal dance, switching partners from woman to woman, just as everyone is. They're switching men. All the dance partners are switching around, and he bumps into this guy who previously had been wearing the dress. He's not anymore, and they just smile at each other, and that's it. It's like a half second. That is it. Totally blown out of proportion, if you ask me. Now, as far as messages to discuss, we cannot change our nature. This is what I talked about with my kids. Our natures cannot be changed unless we are accountable, unless we are humble, and unless we are penitent for our mistakes, unless we want to change and make things right. Also, don't judge people based on their appearance, but on their character. Belle is beautiful, and people judge her based on her beauty, but she's actually very intelligent, she's fiercely independent, she's strong, she's caring, she's so much more than beauty. Gaston is very handsome, and he's a jerk. Beast is this hideous beast, but he's actually tender-hearted and kind, and we need to judge people based on their character, not how they look. Also, it's never too late to do the right thing. That's a good message from this film to discuss with our kids. So overall, I give it a B+. I may actually give it an A- on repeat viewings, but I really enjoyed it. It only pales in direct comparison to the original. Now, if you like this, help me to help more families. Share this with people. Let them, because I'm going to keep cranking out these reviews every week of new theatrical releases. Check out my book, 250 Great Movies for Latter-day Families, not just for Latter-day Saints. It's a movie guide of 250 films from Charlie Chaplin to the Avengers, and I talk about worthwhile messages and what you can talk about with your kids and why these films are so great for families. So check that out. And I encourage you to, in the links here, in the description, you'll find a link to buy the book, to pre-order Beauty and the Beast from Amazon, the new one, to buy the soundtrack. Currently, you can buy the soundtrack now and listen to it, and also to purchase the original film and its soundtrack. I have links for all that on Amazon, and I get a little kickback from that, which helps pay for my movie tickets and keeps me going to do these reviews for you. So, I'm Jonathan Decker, signing off.